My friends, good morning, my friends. Hope you're doing fine. Yeah, today, my friends, I've just come to talk about U equals U. I want to talk about U equals U. Why? Simply because, according to my mapping exercise, and at least the health officers have been also trying to consult after my mapping exercise. You know me, I operate within the low areas, remote areas, simply because I know their weakness. So now, what I've found out is that guys who are in urban areas, or those who at least they are financially stable, it's like there is high chance of them to have undetectable viral load than those who are underprivileged, especially the poor people. Why? Now, for those who are financially stable and those who live in urban areas, for them they have access to the health centers. If not the health centers, at least with NGO offices via the counseling departments, they can be in position to get enough information how to manage the HIV treatment or the ART. But again, guys who are in low areas or remote areas, they lack relevant information. Sometimes those who succeed, and not even succeed, but let me just say, sometimes those who are given the HIV treatment, they don't give them enough information. At least those who are in town, they get what we call counseling. It's like they access counselors. Well, there is easy access to health centers, and they will get enough information which is required for someone who is on the HIV treatment. Because for them, it's like they can try to get the immune boosters when they're on the HIV treatment. It's like when they're counseling them, they can access what we call the link between nutrition and HIV departments. Or if not that, they can at least get the information about the link between nutrition and HIV. That's why at least for them they manage the HIV treatment well than those in low areas. They can be in position to go and carry out what we call the viral load tests. But in rural areas, health centers are far. It's very difficult for them to be at least reporting to the health centers. You find someone who is on the HIV treatment or ART is supposed to be taking 3 tabs a day, but when you try to talk to him or her, you will see that he's not even following the prescriptions. Guys in rural areas, when they are referred to hospitals or to health centers, they go there. But as you know, our health centers, they lack what we call health service providers. The number is alarming. You may find one health center in a sub-county when it's only one. But when a sub-county is covering up even more than 6,000 people, but you are going to find these people when they are not even giving them enough information, especially when they are going to test them or when they are giving them the HIV treatment. Those who are in rural areas, as even last time I talked about it, those who are in rural areas, what they do, it's like they tell them during the, what we call the post-test counseling, to boost their immune system, because sometimes they find when the immune system is real down or is weak. So someone at least to start the ART or HIV treatment, at least the immune system, it needs when it's a bit strong. So guys who are in rural areas, they lack information about how to boost their immune system, what to eat. When they tell them to buy the immune boosters, these immune boosters, at least for them, at least it's kind of processed food. It's a processed food, and for them, they are not financially stable. They can't be in position to get the processed food or the immune boosters in supermarkets. Someone who cannot even earn $1 or $2 a month. So he or she will agree to go with the medicine. He or she will start the HIV treatment. He will start the HIV treatment. But the way they feed themselves at home, they do not balance their diet. But again, he's supposed to take the treatment. So you find them taking the treatment, and again, you will find when they are taking the tabs not in a given period of time. They are not all that skilled and they are not educated. When they prescribe the drugs or the medicine, you will find when they are not taking them in the given period of time. They have been told. So much is needed in rural areas, because you may find even the health center, when those who are there, all the service providers, all the doctors, or the health workers, you may even find when they don't even know the language of the people they are serving or they are treating. Because in Uganda we do have a lot of tribes. We do have a lot of tribes. So you may find when they have deployed someone who doesn't know even the language where he or she has been deployed. So you find when these people are facing really a big problem. Leave alone that. Organizations, they do keep on coming to rural areas. They start doing their work, counseling or VCT, this voluntary counseling and testing. Then after doing it, they come with their volunteers, which is not all that good, because one thing I know, when they at least get those who prove positive, they are not going to give them the ART. They won't give them the HIV treatment, but they refer them to the health centers. Remember, when they go to the health centers, they will not receive enough information. Because some health centers, when you go there, you're going to find when there is no pre-test counseling and post-test counseling, it's like they don't even receive enough information. But they will call out the test again and give the final results, HIV results. Then the person will be given the treatment. Someone who proved positive needs too much care. Someone who proves positive needs too much care. It's not a matter of giving out the HIV treatment and let him or her go. That's why you're going to find someone at least who have been even a bit strong and he can walk. But again, when he or she starts the HIV treatment, you will find when he becomes weak to the extent that he or she will be not in position to go to the health center. Why? He has started the HIV treatment, but he failed to balance the diet. People in rural areas take tea without even tea leaves, without even sugar, without even any escort. But it's like, let me just say they just take water. When they're eating, if you check on some people, some families, because even some families cannot even eat 2 meals a day. So you may find when they're even taking food without sauce. You find a family just taking food only, let me say, sweet potatoes. If not sweet potatoes, cassava. Tea without, let me say, not milk, but just water. So you find the person who is taking the tabs, sometimes when he becomes weak, you're going to find when this person fails again to take these 3 tabs as they were prescribed. So it's like the course we used to take or the course we used to receive. Sometimes for them, when they call, they think that they have got at least a doctor who's going to take care of their sick person. But sometimes, even us, when we go and see these people or when we meet them, we find ourselves when they need medical attention. Yes, they need doctors. Because their condition is beyond our attention. So we find ourselves again also trying, the only help we can give is to forward them to the health centers. But those in town, guys who are in town, even a lot of volunteers help them. They can even access the information on their mobile phones, smartphones, internet cafes. So we need to find out, we really need to sit and think how to help those who cannot access health centers. Otherwise, it's like if we keep on telling people U equals U, T equals T, undetectable is equal to untransmittable. Okay? So it's like some who cannot see or who cannot listen and get this information on smartphones or on multimedias. That means for them, they will stay detectable. And again, organizations, other organizations, what they need to do, especially those who are listening to me or those who are viewing this clip, what you need to do, at least when you're going in any rural area, make sure that when you go there, do not take your volunteers from urban centers and again you go and deploy them in rural areas. Then after something like 1 week or 3 days, you collect them and take them back to their respective destinations. That means that the people you've left in the areas, you've not hoped them. You've not hoped them. Simply because those who proved positive, remember the health centers are far, that means that they will try to go to get a treatment. But again, they need much care. Not the health centers that are going to help them with the link between nutrition and HIV. No. That information about the nutrition, they won't be helped. They need them still. But again, you cannot come back. So what you have to do, at least sit down and do your program. Before you go there, first go train volunteers from that side. I know some people fail to do that simply because they use English, and it's like in rural areas, guys who are in rural areas, they are not educated. They can't understand English. Try to get those who can, so that at least they try to translate the information into their local language. If they get to know at least in their local language, if they get to know the information in their local language, I'm telling you, they will be in position at least to help those who need their help. Train volunteers from rural areas, not volunteers from outside the rural areas or from urban centers, where you go after your work, you go back. Train volunteers from rural areas. Translate the information into their language, into their mother tongue, so that they can be in position to understand. Someone who's mature, as long as you try to teach him in his language, he will understand. So that at least when you leave, they are still there. They can hope. But this habit of coming with volunteers in rural areas, then after doing your work, you leave and leave those who proved positive in a bad situation. Remember, someone who proved positive will start putting his or her imaginations into reality. So they need much hope. So guys, you stop this habit of bringing volunteers from urban centers. You go in the village. It's like you're going to work there for only 1 week, and after 1 week you'll go. Remember, you went for VCT. That is voluntary counseling and testing. But again, when you finish your work, you leave the village without any volunteer whom at least you've left that side to hope. And even guys from urban centers, they will come with their English. These guys who are in rural areas, when they start hearing you speaking English, sometimes they think that you are just trying to show off that you went to school, yet they didn't. You know, they have negative attitudes towards those who speak English, simply because for them they think that you are trying to show off that you're educated. So sometimes when you're going at least with the HIV information in rural areas, first do what we call the mapping exercise. Even those who are in low areas, they will be in position also to have what we call the undetectable viral load. But without that, they will not. It's all about the link between nutrition and HIV. Then they will also try to manage their treatment well. For them, they don't need to go in the supermarkets to buy immune boosters. No need. They have land. They are ever feeding on raw food, non-processed food. Raw food is better than processed food. I'm 100% sure on that. They do have it, but how to balance the diet? They don't know how to balance the diet. They are just after getting satisfied to eat and satisfy their stomachs. That's all. Why? They're just ignorant. So now we need to rescue these people free from ignorance. So at least those who are in town, they have access to the information. Smartphones, TVs, health centers, everywhere. So it's easy for them to be undetectable. It's easy because they are managing their HIV treatment. But guys who are in the rural areas, it's very difficult for them to have the undetectable viral load. It's very difficult. So I call upon my colleagues, when you're going to the village, first try to consult and get at least volunteers from the village areas. Train them in their mother tongue so that when you leave, they can be in position to help those who are in their areas. They will be in position to help them. Because when you leave, they can stay. For them, they stay there. We've been doing this, I'm telling you, since 2013. That's when I started also volunteering with some organizations. We've been going deep in remote areas. But again, after a month, after 2 weeks, we leave and come back. So when I tried my level best also to call out the mapping exercise within my area, I found there is a lot of need for the information about the link between nutrition and HIV. Otherwise, without that, it will be difficult for the rural area, guys in rural areas, to have what we call the undetectable viral load. It will be very difficult, guys who are in rural areas, to have what we call undetectable viral load. It will take years if we don't change. It will take years. It will take years. So I will summarize by saying that guys who or organizations in urban areas, please, when you're going, because I know NGOs, you are allowed to operate within the whole country, not like community-based organizations or CBOs. So when you're going in rural areas, try your level best. Try your level best to train volunteers from that area where you're going to operate within that given period of time. You're going there. So that when you leave them there. They can be in position at least to monitor and help those who proved positive. Than you going with guys whom you've been training in urban areas and they go there with their English Because sometimes when you start your English in someone's home, they will start even chasing out. I'm telling you, guys in rural areas are so different than those in urban areas. So we need to focus and help these people. So tomorrow I'll be also uploading a clip here about the approach I do use. I will upload a clip about the approach I use now in the village areas or in rural areas. But it's like in Uganda, when I talk of village areas, it's all the same. Not like in first world countries, because even it's like the services which are in village areas, there are same services in urban areas, but not like in Uganda or in third world countries. So my brothers and sisters, I would like to say, have a nice day. Tomorrow, if not tomorrow, that is on Wednesday. If I'm not busy, I'll be in position also to upload a clip and tell you that at least the approach I use right now, at least to bridge that gap. Because I know what rural people are suffering from. I know their weakness and why they are not, as in having the undetectable viral load. So I'll talk about the approach next time. Yeah. Have a nice day. It's me, Jim Dean, or Jim as the name I use. Zidane Benevolence International. Bye-bye.